This is my 1995 Ford Ranger, objectively the best truck in the world, and I got it for $700. Unfortunately, the interior looks like this, so we're gonna do something about that. Specifically, the seats, which are complete garbage. So let's see if we can do something about that. So these are the seats. They're pretty beyond just cleaning. They are torn, they are filthy, they are growing things, and the center console is a lost cause, and I really don't like the split bench. I either want a full bench or buckets. But I guess I already kind of decided for myself because I already bought something. Behold, an upside down Fox Body Mustang bucket seat. Two of them, in fact. I don't see this particular style seat all that often. This is out of a 1984 Mustang LX with a 5-liter. It had like 40,000 miles or something on it. And these supposedly will bolt directly into my Ranger. Unfortunately, they're red. I love red interiors, but my Ranger doesn't have a red interior. So to that end, I have purchased, here it is, some SEM color coat vinyl dye. SEM is supposedly the good stuff. I've seen demos of this stuff where it actually does penetrate fairly far into the surface of the material itself. And since this is already completely faded, that's not dirt, that's sun fading, because dyes back in the 80s were complete crap. So let's get these vacuumed up, cleaned off, wiped down, and then I've got to yank the rails off, which I've already done on this one. It's just 4 10 mil bolts. If I flip this over, there it is. Just do that on all 4 corners and off it comes. And then I'll just probably mask off this little bit of plastic, mask off this thing, and get to spraying. And then hopefully we can transfer the rails over from the Ranger, and I'll have some super comfy bolt-in buckets. And have I mentioned, yes, these are incredibly comfortable. You'll notice there's some creasing here. The seat kind of collapsed a bit. I tried to reinforce it here with some wire. We'll see if that's successful. I don't really understand the structure of seats underneath. This seat refuses to play nice and just stand up, so we're going to do this in multiple pieces. I was masking this big piece of plastic off, then I realized it's just 2 Phillips head screws to take it out. Masked off the lever, masked off the visible parts of the mechanism there, visible parts of that, visible parts of that. Wiped it down with some upholstery cleaner. Didn't get any like stains off, whatever that is embedded, but all the loose dust is off, so that should be good enough to start hitting it with, there it is, our color coat. So I'm gonna set you down and get started on that. So interestingly, I have seen people dyeing sort of velour seats like this before, and the coverage with the rattle can was a lot better than what I'm seeing here, but that was with the Duplicolor product instead of the SEM. Though the SEM did an amazing job with the vinyl surfaces. It dried almost immediately, and it's already super flexible and feels just like the original vinyl. Yeah, it retained its texture, but it's still red. So I might switch products here. because the store I bought the SEM is closed now anyway, so I might just go get some Duplicolor and have another shot at the seating surface. But first I need to give it some time to dry, so we'll yank the driver's seat out of the truck. There we go. First of all, ew. Second of all, looks like a couple 12s, maybe 14s. Let's see here. 13. Very tricky, Ford. Are we ready to know what's under the seat? Oh, it's pulling the carpet up with it. That's a good sign. What do we got under here? Oh, Ford emblem. Must be the tailgate. Yep. Gotta have that on there. How will everyone know it's a Ford? It's the whole point. Alec is gonna be so mad that I didn't invite him for this. Well, you won't mistake it for, you know, a clean car anytime soon, but I disinfected it at the very least, killed everything off with what's known in the industry as incredibly harsh chemicals. Got some weird sticky residue off of everything. So this is, I don't know, livable maybe? Rails come off this the exact same as the other one. A couple tins there, a couple tins there, and then we can transfer it over. But first, I need to go to the store and see if I can get a bit more dye. Well, sometimes you just have to choke up on the bat and bunt. So that's what I did. Guess what? Red seats in the Ranger. You probably can't see that. There's a door in the way. I should have thought this through. There we go. Red seats, or seat so far, in the Ranger. Turns out with this suede material, you can't really dye it. You end up dyeing the backing and not the actual fibers, and just ends up kind of a mess. So I ended up buying some red SEM dye and dyeing it back to red. Problem is now there's like 4 coats of dye on here. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like suede anymore, so that's pretty unfortunate. So I guess now we'll just get this other seat out, get it swapped out, and have red seats in the Ranger for now. There's really, I did some more shopping. I can't find new covers for these. You know, they're a cinch to replace. They're very easy to replace on these, but it's a minimum of $400, and I just don't want to spend that on seats in here. And you know, this one just kind of needs new foam. The foam is all kind of trashed in that area, but I have sat in it briefly, and it seems like a pretty big improvement. And just from vacuuming the floor over here and doing a fairly mediocre job and, well, killing all of the stuff off with what I can only describe as very strong chemicals, yeah, it doesn't smell half bad in here. So now let's do that side and see if we can make it even more better. Yeet. Treasures? Doesn't look like much. Man, these plastics are just barely in here, aren't they? What a well-built truck. I fixed something. Yeah, look at that. Now we gotta yank the rails off of this with 2 10s. And then I'm going to vacuum this and spray it down with more harsh chemicals. Good Lord, this looks like it's been leaking water in here. How are the seals? The seals are all perfect. Someone must have left the window down. Not terribly shocked. Yeah, I'd say I'm okay with this. Weirdly, the seat seems to be offset to the left a little bit, but I think that's just the way these were. Look at all this room for activities between the seats now. Lots of possibilities there. I don't have anywhere to put my arm. But it's a lot less disgusting in here than it was. New carpet will happen eventually. Obviously, it's only $160, I think, for brand new carpet, so we'll get there. And this is kind of interesting. I thought that like this thing had airbags deployed, but there's actually just not an airbag under here. This truck wasn't equipped with one. It's just that all the posts have snapped off this cover, so I might just super glue that cover back in place and get all this. Ugh. Oh God, the tape just exploded everywhere. Oh man. But hey, it smells tolerable in here, so that's nice. Let's see what the driving position's like. Okay. Oh yeah, this seat definitely feels like it's been spray dyed a few times. I used the spray dye on this one to make it look a little less faded, and that was light enough coats that it was fine, but trying to change the color of this one, I just have so many coats on it that it feels kind of junky now, but oh yeah, good pedal reach. Nice, comfy. I feel kind of held in. I'm not gonna be like bracing against the door around corners quite as much. I have a headrest. I should see if I can pull that up. There we go. I have a headrest to rest my head, keep it from hitting the glass if, I don't know, I get rear-ended or something. Well, it's not quite the outcome I was hoping for, but overall I'd consider this a win, and the truck is now one step closer to actually being usable, which is important, considering that I really want to use this truck a lot. That's all I got for now. Thanks for watching.